Hi everybody, this is the tutorial for Undress. My name's Billy from Piano and Pies. Let's get stuck straight in. So we're going to start off with what is, I think, a bass riff, but we're going to put it onto the guitar regardless. So if you want to learn that part, this is for you. We start off with fret 7 on the D string, and we're going to play twice, then fret 5 twice, fret 3 twice, and then we've got 5 on the G to 5 on the D. So up to now we've got 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and. We then repeat the first part, so 7, 7, 5, 5, 3, but then we jump up to fret 5 on the D string before finishing with 3 on the A string. So slowly, all the way through that main riff, we have. Now that loops around a couple of times, but there's also another guitar part on top of it, which is palm muted of fret 8 on the high E string, 10, 8, 10 on the B string. So we're just palm muting it. If you're not too sure what palm muting is, I'm just using this part, lightly holding it on the strings. And I'll play that 3 times before we finish with 12, 10, 8, 10 on the high E string. And then it basically repeats itself. So that new guitar part is this. And on the second time round, just hold that 8, don't play the... So those are the two main riffs. Now for the rest of the video I'm going to talk about the chords that you can strum along to it, which are all going to be open chords. And for the introduction, so where that main guitar riff is, that one, what you have over the top of it are A minor, G, F, C. Now A minor, if you're not too familiar with it, is an open A string, 2, 2 on the D and G, 1 on the B, and an open E. We don't play the low E string. It then goes to G major, which is a 3 on the E string, 2 on the A, 0, 0, 0, that's on the D, G, and B, with a 3 on the high E. You can play G with that finger on the B string, fret 3. Go with whichever G version you find easiest, they're both basically the same thing. Ever so slight different voicing, so it doesn't really matter. The third chord, which was the F, that's probably the most awkward one. 3 on the D, 2 on the G, 1, 1 on the B and E, that's with a flat finger. For F major, we don't play the low E and A strings. And then we have C major, which is 3 on the A, 2 on the D, an open G, 1 on the B, and an open E string. And those 4 chords, that's what gets us through a lot of the song, including that introduction, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm just playing down, down, up for all of the chords. And then for the C, 1 and 2 and, which is down, up, down, up. So do that 4 times round for the introduction, which is twice round the and twice round those parts there. Now, before I talk about the rest of the song, because there's a lot of other different chords going on, if you're interested in getting the lead riff tab for that opening section, as well as the higher part riff, all wrote out for that opening section professionally by myself, including the chord chart for this song with the full structure, as well as the third sheet of the chords and lyrics matched up. Let's say you want to sing along or play along and you need to know which chord goes with which lyric, then head on over to Patreon. I've got you covered. For the price of a coffee, you get access to not only those sheets, but well over 500 other songs of the latest releases over the past few years. In fact, the people on the screen, they'll get that content straight away because they are my active patrons. The moment that this video goes live, they'll get that straight away. So, more about those guys later. Now, digging in with the first verse, that's when the vocals are in, we actually continue with those chords we had earlier. A minor, G, F, C. You'll play through those 4 times. We then get to the pre-chorus, which has 2 new parts to it. So yeah, it might be worth checking out the link to everything on Patreon. Just saves you from trying to memorize it or writing it down and make a mistake. You get everything right professionally. So let's try the pre-chorus, which is F to G, A minor to C. It repeats. Before we then play F, G, A minor to G. So you can see there's 2 different parts to the pre-chorus with a slight difference, one ending with C and one ending with G. After the pre-chorus, we get to the chorus of the song, and that's where we go back to what we did at the opening part: A minor, G, F and C. Play through those chords 4 times and you've got yourself the chorus. And at that point, that's when we get those 2 guitar riffs, the high one as well as the bass riff. And at that point, we link into the second verse. And looking over to my notes, that's basically where things repeat quite a lot. You've got a second verse, the same as the first. You've got a pre-chorus and chorus, same as the other parts. So we'll gloss over those because we then get a bridge, which is different. So here's what we have for the bridge. We have some new chords. D minor is a new chord, which is an open D string. 2 on the G, 3 on the B, and 1 on the high E, which then goes to E7. Fantastic chord to include, which is an open E string, 2 on the A, an open D, 1 on the G, and open strings on the B and E. So up to now we have a bar of D minor, E7, and then some quick changes of A minor, G, F, followed by E minor, which is not to be confused with E7. E minor is an open E string, 2, 2 on the A and D, and then 0 on the remaining strings. We'll play all of those chords twice, which is what I'm going to demonstrate now without me talking over the top of it. We then get a really interesting part where it goes from D minor to D major. D major being an open D string, 2 on the G, 3 on the B, and 2 on the high E. It then goes back round A minor, G, F to E minor, then D minor to D major. Yeah, such a surreal part of the song, which actually I think fits perfectly well. It just sounds really interesting. We then get some good news. The last part of the song is just another chorus, which repeats round 4 times in a row. And there we go, that's everything you need to get through this song. So if that was useful, please do like and subscribe, and consider getting everything over on Patreon. Links are in the description. And the people on the screen, who are my active patrons, they'll be getting this content immediately when this video goes live. So thanks to them for their support. Thanks to you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.